I want you to think about the last trade you held too long. What emotion drove that decision? Was it hope? Fear? Denial? That moment is the crucible. Most traders break there. I've broken there. This video is about building the mental armor to survive it. We'll use Mark Douglous as framework to understand why our brains betray us and how to install a system that operates on logic, not emotion. It's the difference between a short-term gambler and a long-term survivor. Your first big win is the most dangerous moment in your trading career. The market rewards random behavior initially. It teaches you the wrong lessons. Early profits create a false sense of mastery. This temporary success builds overconfidence that blinds you to the real risks ahead. Your brain starts attributing luck to skill. You increase position sizes, convinced you have discovered an edge. This is where Mark Douglas's concept of probabilistic thinking collapses. You stop managing uncertainty and start expecting certainty. The transition from simulated trading to live execution exposes this fragility immediately. Spreads widen. Fills slow down. Your perceived edge vanishes because it was never real. Early wins are not evidence of skill. They are the market's trap. True competence comes from surviving the inevitable drawdowns that follow initial success. This false confidence is the setup for the first major test of discipline. The market does not care about your early success. It will test your assumptions with a force you did not anticipate. You begin to believe your analysis is infallible. You ignore small losses because the memory of quick profits is too fresh. This creates a pattern of denial. You hold losing positions longer than your rules allow. You break your own risk management principles. The discipline you built in simulation shatters under the pressure of real money. This is the illusion of competence. It feels like mastery, but it is merely the calm before the storm. The market allows this behavior to continue just long enough for you to commit fully. Then it reverses. The losses that follow are not just financial. They damage your confidence in a way that takes years to repair. This false confidence is the setup for the first major test of discipline. That test comes when the price action contradicts everything you believe. Your system must be strong enough to override the emotional need to be right. Most traders fail this test. They choose their ego over their capital. They would rather be right than be profitable. That choice ends trading careers before they truly begin. The dividing line is not intelligence or analysis. It is the willingness to accept being wrong quickly and without emotion. The market's truth is always found in price action, not in your analysis. You enter a trade with a solid thesis. The fundamentals support your position. The technicals look perfect. Every indicator lines up exactly as you predicted. Your conviction feels uncheckable. Then the price moves against you. Not just a small retracement, but a sustained move that invalidates your entire setup. The market begins speaking a language you refuse to understand. This is where most traders fail. They hold the position, rationalizing the loss. They look for confirming evidence while ignoring the tape. They search for news articles that support their view. They check other time frames, hoping for validation. They tell themselves it's just a temporary pullback. The need to be right overrides the need to preserve capital. Your ego becomes tied to the trade's outcome. Fear of being wrong paralyzes your execution. Mark Douglas identified this as the fatal flaw in most traders. The need to be right becomes more important than the need to make money. You override your stop-loss rules. You average down, digging a deeper hole. You add to losing positions because you cannot accept being wrong. The market does not care about your thesis. It does not care about your analysis. Price action is the only truth that matters. The tape tells you everything you need to know. Letting profits run requires cutting losses quickly when reality contradicts your position. This discipline separates professionals from amateurs who die on every hill. Professionals understand that being wrong is part of the business. They exit when the market tells them their thesis is invalid. They do not argue with price action. They do not try to convince the market. They listen and respond. Amateurs fight the tape until their account cannot fight anymore. The market will test your ability to accept being wrong. It will test it repeatedly. Each test becomes more expensive than the last. You either learn to surrender your ego or you surrender your capital. There is no middle ground. The tape does not negotiate. It does not compromise. It presents reality and demands you accept it. Your job is not to predict. Your job is to react. Every losing trade contains data more valuable than the profit you didn't make. You've just taken a loss. The emotional response is immediate. Frustration. Anger, urge to revenge trade. This is where most traders skip the most critical step. They either ignore the loss or quickly move to the next trade without analysis. This avoidance behavior ensures the same mistakes will repeat. The loss becomes wasted data. Mark Douglous emphasized that losses are feedback, not failure. They reveal flaws in your system or execution. The proper process involves documenting the trade against your plan. Did you follow your rules? Was the setup valid? Was sizing appropriate? You must answer these questions after every loss. This is non-negotiable. Create a mandatory post-trade journal that analyzes the loss objectively. Treat each loss as tuition paid for education. Record the entry price. Record the exit price. Document the reasoning behind the trade. Note where you deviated from your plan. Identify whether the mistake was in analysis or execution. This systematic review transforms emotional reactions into strategic improvements. Most traders cannot stomach this process. They would rather forget the loss and chase the next opportunity. This is why most traders fail. They refuse to learn from their mistakes. They pay the same tuition repeatedly without gaining any education. The market does not forgive this refusal to learn. Your journal must become your most important trading tool. It is not a diary. It is a forensic analysis of your failures. It shows you patterns in your mistakes. It reveals your psychological weaknesses. It exposes your tendency to override stops. It highlights your addiction to being right. This data is more valuable than any indicator or system. You must review this journal weekly. You must identify recurring errors. You must adjust your system based on what you learn. This is how you turn losses into progress. This is how you stop repeating the same mistakes. The market will test you with the same patterns until you learn the lesson. The cost of not learning is always higher than the loss itself. This process separates professionals from perpetual amateurs. Professionals extract value from every loss. Amateurs only feel the pain. They gain nothing from the experience. They simply become more afraid to take the next trade, or more reckless. Both paths lead to the same destination: failure. Discipline is not a personality trait. It is a system you install to override your biology. Your brain is wired for survival, not for probabilistic thinking. Fear and greed are biological responses that sabotage trading. They are ancient survival mechanisms that trigger fight or flight. These instincts are useless in the markets. They cause you to cut profits short and let losses run. You cannot willpower your way past millions of years of evolution. Emotional control alone is insufficient against such deep-rooted programming. Mark Douglas's breakthrough was recognizing that consistency requires a mechanical approach to decision-making. You must remove discretion from the process. Your trading system must define every action in advance. Entry criteria, stop loss, position size, exit criteria. There can be no room for interpretation when the trade is live. The system must be so explicit that anyone could execute it for you. This eliminates the need for decision-making under pressure. You trade the plan, not the P and L fluctuations. This system becomes your anchor when emotions run high. It is your circuit breaker against fear and greed. When a trade moves against you, the system tells you what to do. When a trade moves in your favor, the system tells you when to exit. You are no longer reacting to the market's noise. You are executing a predefined sequence of actions. The emotions are still there. You will still feel fear. You will still feel greed. But they no longer drive your decisions. They become background noise. The goal is to reach a state where executing your system becomes automatic. It becomes a habit, like breathing. You do not debate the rules. You do not question the logic in the moment. You simply execute. This mechanical discipline is the foundation that allows you to survive long enough for your edge to compound. Without it, you are just another gambler on a lucky streak. The market will eventually take your money. It is only a matter of time. This system mindset is the final piece of the puzzle. It connects the lessons from your losses to consistent execution. It transforms theoretical knowledge into practical survival. The market does not test your knowledge. It tests your ability to execute under pressure. Your system is the only thing that can pass that test. It is the difference between reacting and responding, between panic and process, between a short-term participant and a long-term survivor. Your system is your only real edge. Everything else is just noise. The market doesn't punish mistakes. It punishes the refusal to learn from them. Your edge isn't in better analysis. It's in better execution of a simple, repeatable process. Remember, the market isn't your enemy. Your undisciplined habits are.
Comment your worst trading behavior so I can make a video about it in the next video. Check out my FX book, Verified Track Record, and see the trades we have been taking in the premium group. Link in description if you want to join our trading community.